welcome to the MPG Podcast. I am your host, John Graviel, joined with...
Jordan Missig, race car driver, professional race car driver.
I know, that sounds awesome. That's cool.
Got to put the title in.
When I grow up, I'd like to be a professional race car driver.
But you are grown up, and you're a pilot.
Oh, gosh. You got to remind me I'm grown up. You got to remind me. Anyway, welcome to the show. May 11th. A little John trivia. It happens to be my anniversary today. 19 years married to my lovely wife, Heidi.
Oh, well, happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you. I wrote a little message today and said a lot of people say, I can't believe it's been 19 years. Well, I can believe it. I can believe when it's going to be 30 years.
I was just about to say, just wait till next year. It's going to be the 20.
To last weekend, not 2 weekends ago, you jumped in a radical race. Last minute, you said, hey, I'm going to go out and race a radical at the Audubon Country Club, right?
Yeah, no, it was the same day as my graduation from college, too. So
That's right. Yeah, congratulations on a lot of congratulations going on today. Graduated with a communication degree.
Communication and Media Arts degree from the University of St. Francis, yes. So I now have a bachelor's degree in that. Jumped in Jason Greenwood, member out here, his car, did a couple laps, and then went ahead and did my graduation ceremony, virtual though. So my dad said a little quote to me saying that I'm probably the only student in that whole school, and probably going to be the only student in that school that had a graduation in this fire suit while also hearing race cars in the background. So if there's any way to graduate college and a way to remember it, that's the way to do it, I guess, for me. But yeah, no, I had that and then jumped into radical, did a radical race, handicapped myself in that race, put myself on 2 race-used sets of tires and went out and tried my best to win the race in that case and started from the back because I missed qualifying and just picked my way through the field and caught up to the leader, which was Mike D'Ambrose at the time. Caught up to him and just basically rode behind him the entire time and tried doing everything I could, but unfortunately with my old tires ran out of luck when I got up to him, and plus being in the wake of the draft and everything and knowing these cars with the downforce and you get the aero push, overcooked the tires, overheated them, just being behind him, and next thing you know, towards the end of the race, I just had nothing left for him. So it was good on his part. He didn't mess up at all, so it was congratulations to him. But he told me after the race that was the most fun radical race he's ever been a part of. So that was always nice to see, and I was so happy to hear about that.
Yeah, pretty incredible weekend, that's for sure. And then this past weekend, big announcements in the Jordan Missig race car driver world. This is, I mean, pretty exciting. Please fill us in on what happened this past weekend.
Well, we went down to Indianapolis on Friday at the time. I believe it was May 7th, the day before my graduation. So went down to Indianapolis and went to a race shop for a new series that I'm going to be a part of in the Lamborghini Super Trofeo series. So went down there and, toured the shop and everything, and then got a contract given to me, and I signed a contract. So now I signed with a new team, and that team is known as Wayne Taylor Racing.
That's a hat shift. Yeah, so still doing F3 racing.
Yep, still doing F3 with Newman Watts.
With Newman Watts, and you've also signed to drive a Lamborghini with, and what's the name of the race?
Wayne Taylor Racing is the team name. That's the same team. Yeah, Wayne Taylor. The same team that does the DPI series in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Series. So that's the same team that earlier this year.
Yeah, the DPI is Daytona Prototype
International.
So it's pretty high-end, specialized sports car for endurance racing and road racing. So they're very winning team. So tell me about, let's start, I guess, you've driven this car, yes?
I've driven a Lamborghini, obviously back in January. I was at Miami Speedway and did a test in a Lamborghini Super Trofeo car. So I've had experience with the car, with the Lamborghini car, but not the exact one that I'm going to be driving this year when the season gets underway. That will be the first time I'll be driving it, which will be in Coda in 2 weeks.
So Coda, 2 weeks, Lamborghini, um, Super Trofeo. Is that the
Yep.
actual? That's the purpose-built race car, right?
That's the title of the series. It's called the Super
Oh.
Trofeo. The purpose-built race, the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo, is what the name is.
How many horsepower are we talking?
660.
Oh my gosh. 660
all-wheel drive.
All-wheel drive, 660 horsepower. Rear-wheel drive. Oh
So
my gosh.
controlling 660 horsepower basically with your right foot.
Wow. So, is there testing before this, or you just show up and you just test like a typical race weekend? Show up on Thursday for testing?
Yeah, we could have done testing if we wanted to, but with us signing with Dwayne Taylor, 2 weeks maybe before the event, there's unfortunately not enough time for us to do testing, and especially with me balancing that and FR, having my FR weekend be in next week, there just wasn't any time for us to be able to do any testing beforehand. So I'm going to be going into Coda. I have experience with the car already, so that's the good news. But the experience at Coda, that's going to be an interesting story for sure to kind of live through. So we're going to have some fun with it and experience all I can, but I'm sure I'll be able to quickly adapt to the car. And I know how it is, and I know how the track is too. I've been to Coda at least 2 times now, so that's a plus that I'm going to a track that I'm really well experienced with. So that's the one thing that I'm looking forward to, and I'm sure I will be able to adapt very quickly when we get in the car on Friday.
Yeah, so Coda, Circuit of the Americas down in Austin, Texas. Historic, awesome racetrack. When you see it from the air, it's just as cool from the air as driving on the ground. It's just really neat, red and white, and it really pops when you fly over it. When you're going in there to Austin Bergstrom Airport, you can see it there to the southeast of the airport. Really cool. So awesome car. Are there other team? Do you have other teammates on the with the Lamborghini?
No, so I'm going to be running solo myself. 50-minute races, race lengths. You can have a co-driver though, so some drivers will do 25-minute stints, and then which is kind of halfway, and then they'll swap out drivers to run the rest of the way. Whereas I will be doing the whole 50-minute race length, so I'll be doing it all by myself.
Oh, how long? 50-lap race, 50-minute race. How many laps do you get in 50 minutes ish?
It depends on the track. Obviously, like Coda, we'll probably get like upwards to maybe 30, 40 laps potentially. You can go to some smaller tracks like Watkins Glen, I'd say, would be another track they go to, or Laguna Seca, and you can get upwards to like maybe 50, 60 laps. It all depends on the track and how fast the cars are moving at the time. So,
is this the first race of the Super Trofeo series?
yeah, so the first race will be at Circuit of the Americas. The schedule they have is they go to Circuit of the Americas, then they go to, I want to say they go to also Watkins Glen, Laguna Seca, VIR, Road America, which will be, I don't know if it's in the exact order, but I know those are some of the tracks. And then the one race that is at the end of the year, which I'm hoping to go to, which I'm very excited for, is the Lamborghini World Finals, which is where the season ends, and it's the last round of the season, and that takes place in Monza, Italy.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! How awesome! Oh, that is fantastic. And that's like October-ish?
Yeah, October-ish, I would say.
Wow. Do you know how many total races there are yet?
I believe there's 2 races per weekend. So you do the math, 2 times 6. I believe you get 12 races.
12 races. Okay. Did they run with other groups while they're at the track, or is that their own?
Yeah. So Coda, we are running with NASCAR. We are the support series for NASCAR. VIR, we will be the support series for SRO, which is like the GT World Challenge Series. And when we go to Road America later in August, we will be the support series for IMSA, the WeatherTech Sports Car Series that weekend.
Wow, fantastic. And then, yeah, not to mention next weekend you will be, or this coming weekend,
Yep,
right?
this coming weekend. Yep.
This coming weekend you'll be up in Wisconsin, Elkhart Lake,
Yep.
Road America. Oh, yep.
Do the
I
head
love
swap
it.
again.
I love it. I love it. You'll be up there with the F3 race at that historic racetrack up there in Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, we'll be up there doing our second round of the FR Americas Championship. Sitting currently with 45 points, sitting second, 30 points behind Kiffin Simpson. So I'm really looking forward to this weekend, only because one, it is one of our home week races. It's our home weekend basically. We're only 3 hours away from the track. Not only that, but it's where I got my first radical win too. So I'm hoping some of that kind of trickles down to what I've been able to do in FR now, because we're expecting to win this weekend and we're hoping to win. So I'm hoping what I did in Radical back in 2019, when I got my first win in the National Series, that will trickle down to getting my first win in the FR America Series.
Yeah, we'll definitely be watching that in Load In Thursday. Is that right?
Yeah, it's a pretty skewed schedule. Load in will be Thursday, and then we're not doing anything on Friday. And then we'll have 2 optional test sessions on Saturday, and then Sunday we'll have a practice in the morning, qualifying in the midday, and then our first race will be Sunday in the afternoon. And then we actually have 2 races early in the morning on Monday. The reason why that is because Road to Indy is going on at Indianapolis. They're doing the Grand Prix of Indianapolis, running the road course down there. And Road to Indy's racing on Friday and Saturday. And then after that, some of the guys who are in the Road to Indy series are making their way up so they can participate in the F4 and FR America series. So Road to Indy's racing on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we're Sunday, Monday.
Wow, interesting schedule there for that. That's for sure.
Yeah. The way the conflict it has between the both series. I mean, some drivers are doing both series, so they're trying to make it to where they can make it to both races. So they'll obviously some might miss a couple of things, which it kind of puts the advantage onto some of the the FR guys who are going to be up there and not doing the Road to Indy. So we're going to get some extra chat time, which is beneficial for us, and we're looking forward to that for sure.
No, yeah. Wow. So huge 2 weekends here. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Tell me about it. You
Wow.
got
Yeah.
graduation, signing with a new team, and then you're going back-to-back race weekends.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, all I can say is well deserved. As hard as you're working, both as a driver, developing yourself. Obviously the academics now are. You don't have to juggle that, at least for a little while. Don't know what your plans are there with academic-wise, but you don't have to juggle that. And, the coaching that you're doing, and I'm only sure that helps too. I mean, the success you're having as a coach and leader, out there among other drivers is pretty impressive that you were able to wear all these hats that you have in what you're tackling. It's pretty amazing, but you're definitely have a lot to offer everybody, and I'm sure that this team is just overwhelmed the opportunity for you to drive for them. It's fantastic.
Yeah, certainly don't mind doing a hat dance every once in a while, swapping hats out and everything. But no, you brought up a good point with coaching and everything. And as far as I've known, as I've seen, all my drivers who I've coached with have come up through the rankings and have found their way up towards back of the pack to the middle of the pack, and then find themselves up battling towards the front. So obviously coaching your son and especially Spencer McFarland, who I've coached with through the junior rankings and now has moved up into senior this year in karting. He was now battling up with the top of the podium as well. He actually got himself what was going to be a 3rd place. Unfortunately had some mishaps in the race, which unfortunately dropped him down to 4th. But hey, it's what makes the podiums and making the wins much more cherishable. So we're looking forward to seeing him on the top stat, as well as trying to get Mitch his first win in Miatas too later on this year. So he started off a good year so far in Miatas. So I'm hoping he have good things come out of him throughout the rest of this year.
Yeah, fingers crossed, and don't forget your young female driver.
Yeah.
Caitlin, my daughter Caitlin, who idolizes you, and lives on every word. You know, she sees what you're doing, and she has attacked, particularly this year, attacked her karting, and had her out this weekend in our rally track we got down at our farm. So she was embracing that, just couldn't wait. I can't wait to get her in the Miata here this month. I hope I'll get her out on the track in the Miata.
Yeah, Caitlin's someone who has really stepped up in the karting ranks, and she's really taken stride in it too. You know, a couple years ago, or even last year, you know, she was kind of just putzing around a little bit, trying to make the best of it, but enjoy herself a lot. Now this year, she's kind of taking it a little bit more serious, and I think, you know, with that comes the speed, and soon enough, we're going to be seeing her fighting for top threes. I mean, obviously, she was in the midst of a battle last week for fourth, so I mean, she's only one spot away from being on the podium spot, so I'm hoping the next couple weekends or races that Caitlin's able to perform, she'll be finding herself getting on the podium as well, and we'll be able to cherish a trophy with her.
Yeah. Dad's looking forward to that day. That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, so we touched a little bit on, of school, communications degree. Is there graduate work planned at all? I mean, obviously not. I would assume not in the near future. But is that something that interests you in that area?
Yeah, I mean, this is a good degree to be kind of based off of, because this is something that I've kind of liked to do, mainly when I was in grade school and everything, and I really just didn't know what to do with it. So like going into college, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. So I just thought about this because this was something fun and I liked to do when I was younger and thought I can have a passion for it. Little did I know that in the racing business, a communications degree is basically everything that deals with racing outside of the car. So you know, this has kind of helped me a lot in terms of branding, marketing, as well as getting in touch, as well as everything else that revolves around the race car, because that's just basically dealing with social media, being a website, trying to get sponsorship and everything, and also just kind of working with TV companies and everything like that, and even radio broadcasts. You know, you look around the paddock and professional race paddock, and all the there's so much communication that's going around, and there's just so much artwork, there's so much broadcast and TV analysts that are going on around you, that it's basically, racing is a communication sport, and as well it's both communication and engineering. You have your mechanics and your engineering side that are working inside the pits. Everybody else is basically working with communication and the media arts. So that's something that I like to cherish, and I always wanted to go into like the racing industry and the racing business. So this is a perfect degree, not only for what I was able to do in school and what I was able to accomplish, but even if racing somehow didn't pan out, I can use this degree to kind of fall back on something in the racing industry, and this can even expand outside of the racing industry if I really wanted to. Like if I wanted to really edit like videos, or if I wanted to go, you know, be an editor for like a movie or something, that's what this degree allows me to do. Is I have now the learning, the assets, the skills to be able to do that for my own personal business if I wanted to, or just go ahead and work for like a TV company or a race team if I wanted to. Like I could become a PR person if I want to of a famous race car driver if I don't make it.
Well, we think you've already made it, and you're going to make it even further. So, yeah, I mean, especially, I mean, how attractive that is to any sponsor, you know, potential sponsors out there, to have, you know, someone with your skill set and your experience in front of the camera and speaking and communicating and representing multiple different products and businesses. So, yeah. Speaking of that, Google Jordan Nissig Racing, and you will find all of his social media, everything that you're going to be. You can follow Jordan at the track this coming up weekend, FR Americas, at Road America, Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. And then how about a shout out to the sponsors?
Yes, shout out to the sponsors of PSA Check and Audubon Country Club as well. And I'm excited to announce too that I'm going to be having a Wikipedia page coming your way too as well. So I'm going to have that, and we're in the talks of new merch coming out later this summer.
Oh, very nice, because I like my Jordan Nissig Racing merchandise. I absolutely like that. All right, well, best of luck this week at Road America. Can't wait to see you on the podium there. Thanks again for joining us on the podcast, and we will see you next time.
Sounds good, everyone. See you later.